Hello everyone, I'm Nitsa Hone. I post a draft video of the latest format on every Monday and Thursday. This week, I think this will probably actually be a bonus draft video, so it's probably not up on... Oh no, it's not, actually. Hello everyone, I'm Nitsa Hone. I post a draft video of the latest format every Monday and Thursday. Today is Thursday, so it's time for another draft video. I actually got a bonus draft video out in between Monday and Thursday this week as well, and I might be able to get one out between Thursday and Monday too, but not 100% certain about that, but I know today is Thursday, and this is a draft video. Okay. All right, so it's Banefire. I mean, X spells are always really good and limited. I think people have a tendency to underrate them. I mean, they do have the downside of never being super efficient, but their flexibility and the fact that, especially in the fact that they can just kill an opponent at the end of the game, makes them really good. They also can kill any creature, assuming you have the mana to do it. So we definitely take Banefire. What would I take in this pack if Banefire weren't here? That's a hard question. Probably Pegasus Courser. It's a weak pack. Meteor Golem's nice, but you have to be a ramp deck, basically. I like Salvager of Secrets, too. But Pegasus Courser doesn't really ask you to do anything crazy to build around it. You don't have to end up getting good removal spells or draw spells. You just need creatures, and that's what you're going to have in this format. But yeah, we definitely take Banefire here. Although, if we can get a Salvager of Secrets with our Banefire, that would be good. Nice thing about Banefire is we could also splash it if that comes up. So there's another Courser here. There's also a Knightly Valor, but I think we just take Electrify. I think it's better than these two cards anyway. They're both really good white cards. I think it's safe to say that white is not going to be very open directly to our left between the Courser we just passed, the Courser we're passing, and the Knightly Valor that we're passing. So although I have seen these wheel when they shouldn't be, just to, soapbox on that card again, it's great. It's an aura, yes, but there's not a lot of good instant speed removal in this format, Electrify notwithstanding. And it also makes sure you get a Knight token if you cast it intelligently, safely. You'll get a Knight token, which can counteract the 2-for-1. It doesn't quite make up for it. It probably gets you back like a third of a card, but it makes up for it a little bit. It's more like a 1 for 1 2/3. Anyway, Electrify it is. So we definitely would like Salvager of Secrets, and there's one right here. The question is, would I rather have Fiery Finish? Maybe. This format has some decks that are so fast that removal like Fiery Finish is just god-awful. Like, paying 6 to kill their 3/3 doesn't feel good. Sure, it can kill bombs, and that is important. It can kill Dreadmaws and rares and mythics of ridiculous size. It can kill most of the Elder Dragons, assuming they don't have hexproof at the time. So I'm seriously considering taking it over a Salvager. Funny thing about it, like in Dominaria, this would have been a lot better. It's still clunky, but format was so slow and people played so many big creatures that it was always good. I'm kind of leaning towards the finish. Yeah, let's do it. It sounded like I was going to talk myself out of it, but I didn't. I'll probably just take a Draconic Disciple here, which makes our finish a little less bad if we can ramp. Yeah, it's really the only choice here. Ether Tunnel, if you're in green, this becomes better because you have access to Vine Mare and you have access to huge creatures. So yeah, we'll take the Disciple here. Okay. I like Reclamation Sage. It has a lot of targets in this format where there's lots of auras. Bristling Boar is nice too. Centaur Courser is fine. I do think the Sage is better than either of them though. It just frequently enough blows up artifacts or enchantments that I think I want it. And you just mainboard it because it's fail case. It's not an awesome fail case, but it's fine. So here's one of the auras that people like to play, and I do think it's perfectly reasonable. I don't know if our deck wants it. The other choices aren't great though. We've got Titanic Growth, Viashino Pyromancer, and Oaken Form to choose between. Pyromancer's fine, but it's better in a deck that's more aggressive than ours is currently looking. But it's probably better than Titanic Growth is going to be. Yeah, I think I take it. It's just sort of a mediocre 2-drop, but I'll take that. So Gutter Snipe here is interesting. We already have 3 spells. Yeah, I think we take it and see if we can... usually blue-reds we're going to be where it's at its best, but If we can get to 7-ish spells, it's pretty good. So I think we take it over Highland Game for sure. Highland Game is a nice sideboard card against those crazy aggressive decks that do exist in this format. So this Pioneer still being here, I think, is what I'm going to take. I don't really like either of these cards and with what we're doing. They're both good in the really aggressive decks, but that's not really where we're going to be, I don't think. So I think I take the Pioneer and see if blue keeps being open. Okay, here I think I'd probably just take a Lightning Mare. It's not exciting, but it's fine. And, Lava Axe is a spell. It works with Gutter Snipe, but it's not one I like. I avoid playing it if I can, even though I've died to it in this format. So here's a Lava Axe. There's also a Highland Lake, which could open up Splashing. And I think that's going to be more valuable most of the time than Lava Axe. We're not going to be splashing Aviation Pioneer, but if we open a off-color bomb of some kind, then we can splash it. And there's a chance we do still end up in red-blue. It's not like green is really flowing right now. So I think I take the lake. Take this Root Snare. This Rift. Just trying to cut our colors a little bit. Yeah, I'll continue to do it. If we end up in green, I guess I really want Naturalize on my sideboard, though. So, and the Catalyst Elemental is definitely worse. Like, it's not really that playable, even. It's been a disappointment. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be great, but I think I gave it probably a C- in my set review, and it's more like a D-. So if we end up blue, we got the Pioneer, we got the Lake, so that's nice. If we end up blue, it's more likely we can play Gutter Snipe. So, not being able to play the Disciple sucks. Actually, between the Lake and the Disciple, we would be really good on splashing if we end up in red-green anyway. Psychic Symbiont's cool, but I don't think it's what we want. So Rabid Bite versus Thorn Lieutenant is what we're looking at here. So you guys can go over here for now. Looking at 2 green cards. So Thorn Lieutenant's great, and I think it's probably what we take. I know, we have Gutter Snipe, so it's tempting to want to slam the Rabid Bite, but Thorn Lieutenant's like an incredible 2-drop. A lot of the time, or some of the time anyway, it'll just be a 2-mana 2/3 that replaces itself with an elf token. But guess what? That's a really good card. And in the late game, it turns into a threat all its own. So I think it's better than these other green cards, and certainly better than the red cards in the pack. I could see an argument for Rabid Bite, though, I will say. Yeah. So Thorn Lieutenant is... Ooh. Well, we're pushing the ramp deck thing, because Pelakka Wurm's ridiculous. It does suck to have to pass Draconic Disciple for Pelakka Wurm, but it's the right thing to do. We do need to be keeping an eye out for more ramp in general, but Pelakka Wurm's insane if you can cast it, and we're taking it. What's going on here? Nothing. Plague Mare, if we were black, Plague Mare would be nice. Highland Game, I guess. This is not a good pack for us. It's not really, Dwindle's okay. We could speculate on a blue card, but I did mention, and I think it's true, Highland Game's an okay sideboard card. I just don't want to third pick it, and we can play it if we're desperate. I guess we'll take it. Okay, another Electrify is probably where we go here. I think it's better than Rabid Bite. Rabid Bite, you have to find an opening where it'll be good, and you just can't always do that. Gargoyle Sentinel's fine too, but we're going to take the removal here. So Pelakka Wurm is our biggest thing to ramp into right now, and it's basically the best thing in the set to ramp into, let's be real. So I guess we'll do this. So we're up to 4 spells now, so getting there on Gutter Snipe. Okay, we got a Lava Axe, but there's also a Timber Gorge. I'd probably just take the Gorge over these kind of nonsense cards. That, Oaken Forum, it does get more attractive when you have a Thorn Lieutenant, just because you're going to get some value if they do kill it. So the 2-for-1, it's sort of like the small difference in a 2-for-1 we mentioned earlier. It's a small difference from being a 2-for-1, and that does make up a little bit of ground. I don't really like Marauder's Axe, and yeah, I think we just take the Fixing, which... these are sort of underrated, I think. You don't ever want to... ideally, you don't want to be taking them with a 4th pick like we are, but the Fixing they give you can't really be understated. Man, we are getting shafted, which isn't good. So Talons of Wildwood's okay. The fact that it can come back and everything is nice. There's also a Woodland Stream. We'd really be able to splash blue if we get a good blue card to splash. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't like Inferno Hellion very much. It is a big creature, I guess, but not really one you want to be ramping into. I think I'll take the Talons. Yeah. If I knew I was splashing blue, it'd be really easy to take the Stream, but we haven't seen any reason to do that, so I won't. Okay, so that is tempting, right? But I think we stay the course and take a Daggerback Basilisk here. I think it's better than Ghirapur Guide, who's fine, but I like being able to trade with anything. And if we get any Rabid Bites, obviously it's really good with those. Okay, I think I like the Ogre more than the Sentinel. The Sentinel has not impressed me, so Ogre it is. Okay, we'll take another Timber Gorge here. The Shieldmare being there is interesting, admittedly, but we're not white, and it's not an easy thing for a deck to play. Okay, we are sort of turning into a more aggressive deck, and we're going to take another Pyromancer. Yeah, there are reasonable blue cards here. We could run this Crash through. We do have the Gutter Snipe. We do have... Yeah, we don't really have huge creatures who can really benefit from it right now, but maybe we'll get some. So yeah, I think we'll take it. Ideally, it won't make the cut, but it may. I'll take another one of these guys, I guess. We already have one Tectonic Rift. Does sort of feel like we should be in a color other than green, but it's hard for me to say no to Pelakka Wurm. Red seems reasonably open. I mean, these solid but unexciting, especially in this deck. 2-drops being around late is a good sign. All right, now we are going to take an Axe, and it may make the cut, but it seems unlikely. I do think it's better than Marauder's Axe, though. Fire Elemental, sure. It's nothing special, but it is playable. Ooh, Vivian's Invocation. So we were talking about splashing blue, and this is a good thing to splash. Vivian's Invocation's good. Like, if we ever get to put the worm into play, it's going to be nuts. We haven't ended up with nearly as much ramp as I would like to. I mean, I think we still try to play the worm. We still do play the worm, I think, but it's not going to be as good as it would have been in a deck that could ramp more easily. So for that reason, I also, this isn't going to be as good because we can't ramp very easily. So I think I want the patrol more. Giving stuff flying is awesome. We have 2 sources of blue. It makes me kind of wish I'd grabbed that other 2-color land. But because we have 2 Timber Gorges, we can get away with playing an island and as well. So it's not, yeah, I like this card a lot too. So we'll take it over the Invocation. As good as the Invocation is, I don't feel confident in our ability to cast it quickly. So Instigator's nice, but I think our deck is more interested in a Dreadmaw. Not interested. I mean, we already have a bunch of 2-drops who are fine. Okay, another spell that's very good, and we take it happily. Lightning Strike. Double cast isn't really what I'm looking for. Giant Spider is probably a good idea, but is it better than Havoc Devils in this deck? So we don't have flyers, obviously. So that's what can make the Havoc Devil, the Giant Spider better. We have this flyer, right? But it's not... the Devils are nice. They have decent stats. I like them a decent amount, but I think we probably need a Spider more than we need a Havoc Devils. We want to get to where we can cast like Banefires, Dreadmaws, and Pelakka Wurms, So is Gargoyle Sentinel better than Daggerback Basilisk? Probably. Certainly, I don't think we want Active Treason or Hostile Minotaur in this particular deck. I like the Sentinel. It does give us a flyer too, so... Okay, so, I mean, like, ideally, we probably don't run 3 Pyromancers, so maybe we can get away from that. And ideally, we don't run Crash Through. Probably not Talons of Wildwood either. So we're sort of trimming down our deck. 2 Pyromancers is probably okay, but if I could get rid of them, I'd be happy. So if we don't have enough Elves for Clan Caller, I mean, we have 3. So even if you have you need like a lot for it to be good because it's such a mediocre card in limited. Yeah, we'll take the Havoc Devils this time. Another Lightning Mare. Shock. We have Shock and Boggart Brute. So we're up to 1, 2. Hopefully we don't play that. 3, 4, 5 spells. Yeah, I think we probably want Shock. It kills enough small early creatures efficiently. Trades up for stuff like Snapping Drake. So yeah, I think we take it. So we do have awesome mana. That's because of we took these tap lands as early as we did. Don't have to run Manalith or any of that nonsense. Plus we have the Disciple, so I would have loved to end up with Druids of the Cowl. We did pass a Disciple, but it was to take a Pelakka Worm, which I think was definitely the right choice. So yeah, so these lands are going to come in very handy. Okay, Spark-Tongue Dragon's fine. I already have one Highland game. I think that's enough. I think I take the Dragon. You know, in the late game, you don't frequently get to 8 mana in this format, admittedly. But if you do, it does some work. And in the early game, it's a decent flyer. Well, not early, but the middle part of the game, when you have 5 mana, it's a decent flyer. I mean, it's the definite upgrade over Fire Elemental, I think. Which may be like Fire Elemental and Pyromancer. Probably one Pyromancer, probably the next things I would cut. Okay, so do we want a Tormenting Voice or a Boggart Brute? I think this time we take the Brute over the spell. Yeah. Yeah. You know, another spell, if we could cram one more spell into this deck, I'd feel pretty happy about playing Gutter Snipe. As it stands, we have 6, and I'd probably still play it, but it's not going to feel awesome. Shock, Lightning Strike. None there. Electrify. Fiery Finish, and Banefire. Yeah. I mean, we could shove Lava Axe into this deck if we absolutely had to. Smelt's an okay sideboard card, but Naturalize is better. We'll take an Instigator. Trumpet Blast. We're not exactly good at going wide, but it's not a bad card. Sure Strike might just be better, though. I think pumping up individual creatures is going to be better for our deck. I mean, we do have a ton of creatures, as is often the case in this format, so Trumpet Blast is okay, but the fact it doesn't boost toughness means it's basically like a you better kill your opponent kind of effect, as opposed to like Inspired Charge. So another Lava Axe. Double Cast just isn't good in 99% of decks. I think I'll take another Axe. Okay, so I don't think we want Act of Treason, and I don't particularly think we want Hostile Minotaur either, but I think I'd take the Minotaur there. Take a Ghost Form. Yeah, this deck turned out pretty well. You know, again, playing Pelakka Worm is going to be a little dangerous, but we got to do it. It's just a ridiculous card. In the end, we only ended up with 1 ramp. We didn't even take any of the elves, the 3 mana 1/1 guy who helps you find lands. All right, so there's some trimming to be done. So is Goblin Instigator better than Viashino Pyromancer? Probably, yeah. It does more in the late game, for sure. Between the 2 bodies, that can help you stall for a little longer. Yeah, Fire Elemental's probably out. And then let's group creatures separately here. So yeah, so we ended up with 7 spells, which is enough for Gutter Snipe. Lightning Mare is fine. I think we probably leave it. Probably. And I don't know what we cut, though. We did get a little more resilient against flying decks thanks to the Patrol, the Sentinel, and we have a bunch of removal that can kill flyers, so maybe I cut the Spider. It's either the Spider or the Basilisk, I think. They're both good in certain scenarios, but they're not anything special. We don't want to cut any of this stuff. We could consider cutting Sure Strike, admittedly. Is one spell really going to make Gutter Snipe that much better? Probably not. Yeah, let's cut Sure Strike. So 6 is probably enough. He's not going to be amazing, but he'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we want to run the one island. Oh, we need to add our non-basic lands here that help us out. We have the 2, yeah. So one island is a good idea. And I think 8 and 5 is probably right. We're not as reliant on green for our splash as most green decks are, so thanks to our lands. So I think that's probably right. Oh, except we have a Pelakka Worm. Come on. Granted, I mean, we do have 7 sources of green, but we need more than that. I think we cut one mountain. God, do we just have to cut Pelakka Worm? I don't believe in that. I mean, the thing we would have to do probably is just cut Skyrider Patrol and lose the splash in favor of the worm. So we're up to 8 green sources now. 9 if you count our Disciple. Yeah. I guess that's okay. I'm a little worried. But, you know, I think playing the worm's worth it. Getting to 3 green by the time you need to play it anyway isn't like crazy when you have 8 green sources. Ideally, we'd have like 10, I think, but unfortunately, all the lands we got, like this would be better right now almost if it could produce, if it was another Timber Gorge or something, but yeah, I think this is right. I do think it's right. All right, I'll see you guys in our first match. Well, this isn't a good hand, but, you know, it's just the beginning. So we'll go ahead and mulligan. All right, this one's fine. We don't have any really early plays, but, yeah, I'll just say if we have a land on top, we're fine. Because we can play our Disciple, which can power out an early dragon, potentially. So we do have 2 green already for our friend. Actually, 3 green. We already have all 3 green we need, assuming, of course, our Draconic Disciple survives. Also red-green. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I think we just slam this early Thorn Lieutenant. It may be worth it to just play our Ogre first, especially if our opponent doesn't do anything, but they don't. So that's an interesting thing. So, yeah, let's attack with our Thorn Lieutenant, and then I think we're going to play... If I drew a land there, I think I would have been a little more inclined to do something different, but I think putting more pressure on them with the Ogre is probably worth it. Can eat a shock to the face, but looks like that's happening, yeah. Our Disciple could have too, and which would we rather lose? So I think it works out okay in the end. Bristling Boar. Kind of thinking I might just play Lightning Mare and trade with that silly thing. Yeah, that's I think what I'm gonna do. We could use some more lands. I mean, I need to find time to play this Disciple. I think I'll get there eventually. If I'd drawn a land on one of these, if I'd drawn 2 lands, it would look really bad because I could have both a Spark-Tongue Dragon and a Dreadmaw in play, but damn. All the shocks. All right, we're going to take 4 here. Okay, this time I think I play... Well, actually, let's attack with our Thorn Lieutenant first. Right. Then we'll play the Brute. Which would I rather lose more, the Sentinel or the Brute? Which should I try to trade with? Let's play the Brute. It's going to eat a shock. I know it. Yeah, they've paid 2 mana so far to kill 5 mana worth of my cards. That's never a good number. So we'll block. If we trade for a trick here, I mean, we're just getting another 1-for-1, which is fine. I mean, is it ideal? No. Okay. Got rid of that guy. What now? Ooh. That's not good news. Sarkhan's Unsealing is disgusting. I think we pray that they don't have the Hellion that makes Sarkhan's Unsealing really, really broken, where you can like wipe the whole board by doing 7 to everything on your opponent's side. So I'm gonna be maybe a little risky here and play our Gargoyle Sentinel. But if this thing takes off like it can, they're just gonna crush us. Yeah, so they're gonna kill something here, probably. So yeah, the problem is we just don't have any creatures who are going to be big enough to survive that. At least not right now, we don't. Okay, so we've got to play this Disciple. Sarkhan's Unsealing is wrong. The worst part is it was one of the cards I was most excited about coming into this set for Limited, and I still haven't gotten to draft one. I've lost to one, and it looks likely I'm going to lose to one here, but where are my Sarkhan's Unsealings? Even seeing a little play in some of the early standard decks, right? Ah, they have the combo. Nonsense. That is nonsense. Okay. I think we're dead. Now we're definitely dead. We can kill this, but man, we'd really struggled to hit a 4th land there. We wouldn't have won anyway because of the Unsealing, but we have a Naturalize in our sideboard, thank God. And we have Reclamation Sage main board, thank God. So we've got 2 ways to blow that thing up. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut Spark Tongue. Maybe. We could also cut Lightning Mare. Yeah, I mean, our guys who just die to every shock ever don't seem great here. Okay, I would like to play first. Another not fast hand, but we do have removal. I think we keep it. Is it worth? I think we want to have Electrify or Lightning Strike up just in case. We can't do anything on turn 3 anyway, so chances are good that we just play our Gorge. I should probably kill that with Lightning Strike. Yeah, I think I kill it. Wish I just had a shock, but what are you going to do? Okay, well, now we're going to play Gutter Snipe. So playing our Timber Gorge tapped might not happen anytime soon. So we probably want to electrify that just because of all the cards it can draw them. So I think that's what we do. Drops him to 18 and then we'll swing for 2. Next turn, it looks like we'll finally be able to play our tapped Timber Gorge and Gargoyle Sentinel. But if we draw a 5th land, I think we just play Spark Tongue Dragon. Basilisk, okay. Hey, there's our Sage. Do we offer up a trade here? I kind of feel like Gutter Snipe is already done what it's going to do. I think I offer a trade here. We only have 4 spells left in our deck anyway. It did 2 damage, extra 2 damage already, so it may just take it out of concern for a trick, but yeah, I'm fine with that. And I'm going to play Timber Gorge, and I'm going to play Gargoyle Sentinel. So Sarkhan's Unsealing is great, but if we can get them to play it and then we get to blow it up, it's almost like time walking them because it doesn't impact the board at all immediately, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I think we go ahead and just play our Spark-Tongue Dragon here. I'm going to hold on to this land for now. So we have 6 damage worth of flyers. Play that Unsealing. Aha. So we get to blow it up. It also makes all the cards in their hand a lot worse. And then we're going to swing for 6. Yeah. So goodbye, Sarkhan's Unsealing. And we'll play this Forest. We'll give Gargoyle Sentinel flying. And we'll attack for 6. We actually mostly just needed to get rid of the defender there, but that's the only way to do it, so. Drops them to 10. Okay, that's not really going to accomplish much. Unless they have Thud. If they have Thud, they can sacrifice my own creature to kill my other creature. Don't have Thud, please. Please don't have Thud. Thud would destroy me, basically. Oh, they have Thud. Yeah. Thudded. Well, in case they play another Sarkhan's Unsealing. There's some other cards too, I'm sure, that it's good against. We need to draw a Pelakka Worm. We can play it. Yeah, our opponent, the value they got from Sarkhan's Unsealing the last game and the value they got from Thud. I mean, it's still only a 2 for 2, but it's a pretty painful one. We did draw the next best thing from Pelakka Worm, which is Colossal Dreadmaw. Well, that's annoying. Oh, okay. So I think I just kill the Inferno Hellion and attack. It's tempting to just kill this and attack, but I think if we can keep our Colossal Dreadmaw on the table, we have a better chance of winning. Sure, they would block and take 3, but this is going to be better, I think. So I'm just going to blow that thing up and attack with our Dreadmaw here. They either have to take it. Obviously, it's always the case. They either have to take it or block, but they're not in a good situation for either right there. Yeah, got there. All right. You know, I think it's actually better to bring in the Mayor. I think it's better than the Pyromancer here because it can trade with those 4/3 guys. Where'd it go? Yeah. This is a hand where if we draw another land, it'll be pretty good, but it still won't be great because we have a 6 and a 7 in it. I think we have to mulligan. All right, this one is much, much better. I don't really think I need both, so I'm actually going to put that on the bottom. Obviously, we would like another mountain, but it's okay if we don't get it. We did it. We got it. So if they don't do anything, I think playing Lightning Mare is probably better than the Instigator. Sure, it dies to their shock, but whatever. Well, they're not doing anything, so. Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, we ended up not playing one of those, but it's pretty nice in most formats. And in a deck with Gutter Snipe, it also helps you avoid flooding and stuff, and make sure you hit land drops too, whichever you need. So if our Sage can deal with Sarkhan's Unsealing again, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. Yeah, so let's attack with Lightning Mare. We're not going to pump it because we want to play the Instigator, I think. Especially if they try Sarkhan's Unsealing again and we just blow it up again and we get to hit them for 5, we're going to be pretty happy with that exchange. So we're going to play tapped Timber Gorge here and play our Instigator. Plague Mare would be so good against our deck. Oh, here it is again. Here it is again. Okay, so we're just going to say Reclamation Sage, get out of here. And we're going to attack for 5. And we don't have enough green for Pelakka Wurm yet, but we're not far off. And we do have enough green for our Dreadmaw, so that's good news. Yeah, blowing up Sarkhan's Unsealing feels so bad for them. I mean, it's such a powerful card, too. All right, so they're going to ping one of our dudes. I guess the Sage, probably? No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so I think we attack with our Sage. Then play Spark-Tongue Dragon. I mean, if they trade here, it's basically a 2-for-1. Except for they got a 2-for-1 as well, so it's sort of a wash, but... So we're 1 off of Dreadmaw and 1 specifically green mana off of Pelakka Wurm. Well, 2 mana, one of which has to be green for Pelakka Wurm. Did just play another flyer, though, and that's always good. Especially against red-green, whose ability to block flyers is subpar. So we'll attack. And I think we play our Ogre. This thing having Vigilance is really, really obnoxious because it doesn't... if it didn't have Vigilance, it would leave our opponent open. They wouldn't want to attack, basically. Right now, they're perfectly happy to attack because I can't attack through it with anything except my flyer. So, and I think we just take the 5 here. Damn it. Unless they cast Rabid Bite, I guess. So if they attack with the Baloth, I'm pretty tempted to block and kill it. No, they decided not to for that reason. Okay. You're not another flyer, so that's good news. Not as easy to win the game with as Spark-Tongue Dragon, but I'll take it. I think we just take 5. Or don't, alternatively. I mean, yeah, we have some decent blocks, but I'm not really willing to give up my board. If we can continue to have more creatures in play than them, you know, getting through for more damage with a wider board could matter. So, okay. So, we're going to give this flying. Drop them to 6. See if they have smelt. I'm going to be so mad if they sided in a smelt against our 1 artifact, because it's usually a bad idea to do something like that. But here, if they happen to have it, it would be like, oh god. So I'm actually going to hold on to this shock for now and see what happens, because doing 2 damage to them could actually matter later. Plus it's an instant, so I can use it whenever, so... Dreadmaw? No, electrify. God. It's not nice. Okay. I'm gonna take it. We are really not doing a good job on drawing things. I could attack with my ogre, and then if he blocks with his Baloth, 2-for-1 myself, but that doesn't seem worth it. I think we just end our turn. We can actually pump this if we get 1 more mana. We've been on 5 for what seems like an eternity. I could also throw a goblin token in front of it and then use shock. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards here. So... Combat Trick is something to be very concerned about. But I think I'm okay with this. That hurts my soul. Hurts my soul so much. So those are all dead. His Bristling Boar is going to die too, at least. We just need that 6th mana to play our freaking Dreadmaw, man. Oh, good. That's not good. Just in case you didn't know, having all 6 and 7 mana spells in my hand and being stuck on 5 is a bad thing. So they can smash us for 12 here. We basically have to block. This is going to go back in their library at least. But we're probably dead. I mean, it's going to be really hard to counter anything they do, especially when they play the Dreadmaw. The dreaded Dreadmaw. Hey! 6 mana! Yeah, there's no way for us to win. So, that sucks. I mean, we had horrible luck hitting that 6th land. And a 7th would have been even better, although it doesn't look like we were going to draw green for a while. There it is, which is one of the issues I thought our deck would have, and it's come up so far. All right, here in match 2, we definitely keep our hand. We have all our colors. A little bit of ramp, though we don't have something sweet to ramp into. We have plenty of green for Pelakka Worm, though, which is nice. We don't have anything to do in turn 1 and 2, so we probably just play both these tap lands. That could change. No, it doesn't. We'll play this one first, given that we have 1 blue card in our deck. So we do have a Lightning Mare, although I guess we just wouldn't be able to play it. Oh, elf deck, I guess. Yeah, we'll play another tap land. I think I probably play the Sentinel next. I mean, if I draw like something I can ramp into, I guess I'll regret that, but the Sentinel will be able to block a lot of elves. Okay. Can't block that though. Is it just better to play the Disciple Opens up more opportunities, I guess. Yeah, we'll play the Disciple. We're going to get smashed in the face in the air here, but that's okay. Okay, so we could potentially see, this is where playing the Sentinel would have been better, because I would have been able to electrify the Clan Caller and then block one of these and kill it. Now that's not really a choice. I could kill this and then block one of these and kill it, but it'll just be a trade. But kind of feel like that's what we need to do. Yeah, feels like that's what we need to do. I mean, this is where shock would be so much better. Could just wait a turn, but that doesn't seem worth it. Could play one of these in trade, but that also doesn't seem worth it. Yeah, I think we just do the electrify thing, which could go really, really badly. The good news is we're okay on mana, so losing the Disciple is not the end of the world. Okay, so I'm going to declare a block here. And then I'm going to cast Electrify on the Clan Caller. It's a 2 for 2 if it works. They do have 2 cards in their hand, so. And we'll go to 12. Looks like it'll work. But yeah, definitely playing the Sentinel there would have been so much better. But, you know, can't always, usually can't control that stuff. I think we play the Devils here. Next turn we can play this and leave up mana to activate it, which should deter them from attacking. Theoretically. Can block the guy on the ground. I'll go to 10. Yeah. Seems reasonable. All right, we take the 2, we go to 10. Okay, I think we probably attack. And then play Gargoyle Sentinel. Next turn we can play the Basilisk and leave up mana for Electrify. So we can block this. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. We're lucky we have our Basilisk, I guess, but Trample is not a lot of fun. Okay. And yeah, I think we leave mana up for the Bloodletter. If we don't, they'll be able to attack us in the air too. I'm probably going to electrify it at some point. Crap. Yeah, that's not quite going to do the job. Okay, so Sentinel dies. See what they do here. I think we electrify the Bloodletter and block the Dreadmaw if the Dreadmaw attacks. Doesn't look like it's going to, though. Okay. Play this guy. And what the hell? Let's just empty out our hand. We need Palaka Worm, basically. Giant Spider wouldn't be bad either. That is neither of those things. Yeah, that Rabid Bite was nasty. It's too bad my creature doesn't do damage to their creature, because then Electrify would have at least killed the Dreadmaw. So we dropped to 7. I think we're probably dead. Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. Nice. All right, so we go to 5. What do we need? Palaka Worm. That's about it that can help us. That actually 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, this will actually be pretty good. Right, and so we kill the flyer. Yeah. And we end our turn. Gives us a chance anyway. Ooh, gave us more time to draw that Palaka Worm, most importantly. So I think we attack with our flyer and then play Palaka Worm. Which should turn the tide here, I think. Takes us up to 12, which is a pretty big deal, and it's also now the largest creature on the board by a lot. Okay, so we attack with our flyer again. Suddenly, we have the same life total, which didn't look possible earlier. They could have a lot of ways to kill a Palaka Worm, it's worth noting, so should be on the lookout for that. Okay, we have a shock now, that doesn't hurt. Attack with our Spark Tongue. I wish we could kill them faster than we are, but we can't really. They still have 3 turns. Unfortunately for us. Shock doesn't really speed up the clock either. I mean, the way it could is if we kill this blocker, potentially. It could give us a kill a little earlier. That's pretty gross. Okay. We will drop them to 6. Hold on to cards in our hand. All right, Palaka Worm. That's what it does. I mean, it can just... that's what makes it a bomb, is we were really far behind, and it was just like, oh, by the way. Of course, drawing this and then that and being able to pay the pseudo kicker on this was pretty ridiculous. I don't think Naturalize is worth it based on what we saw. Like, they have Talons of Wildwood, and it's basically useless against that. So, I mean, it's not completely useless, but it's pretty bad. All right. I mean, I guess Tectonic Rift doesn't look bad. I don't have any flyers, but I think we're good as is. All right, I think this is another solid hand. It's a kind of slow one, but you know, we have a 3-drop, a 4-drop, a couple removal spells, even if one of them is clunky as heck. This is not bad against their deck because we saw stuff like Dreadmaw, and if you're killing Dreadmaw with a 6-mana card, it doesn't feel too bad. The thing that really hurt us in that last game was the early blitz of elves, so hopefully we can avoid that again and just, you know, not get crushed by a bunch of elves. It's not looking hopeful. Especially because we don't have anything in play yet. Although we do get to play our Sentinel next turn before they'll have, you know, done their nonsense. And then we can set up the Electrify thing I was talking about in the last game. Potentially, anyway. Rejuvenator, okay. Yeah, making it a 2/2 is pretty gross on top of the card it gets you. So, all right, so we'll play our Sentinel. We also have a giant spider this time around who can block in the air. So can the Sentinel, but obviously it costs some mana, which is less than ideal. Oh, that's kind of a pain. Kind of thinking I might just straight up electrify it here. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Because if they target it with an aura, they get a beast. Sure, I get a 2-for-1, but they get a beast. I think I'd rather just electrify it now. I don't want to deal with the beast coming into play, really. Sure, they're about to put, like, if they put it on this or whatever, that's fine. I mean, especially because I can just play a giant spider. I'd probably just take 3 if they did do that. Yeah, so they did have the way to make the beast. So, yeah, this could have ended up in the graveyard. I don't know. It's hard to say which is better. It's good that they made this just when it gets targeted and it doesn't have to come into play, because then it would have been an easy decision to just blow them out. But it's not always easy to do. So, yeah, I'll play our spider here, who can block this elf forever, hopefully. Okay. So that's enough for the dreaded Dreadmaw, which we can just kill on our turn. Rather expensively, but hey, a kill's a kill, right? We have our blue mana. We haven't seen our splash card at all, have we? I don't think we have. It's still early, I guess. Assuming we get to play a third match. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and block it. If they have a trick or if they play like a Plague Mare here, it's gonna suck, but I think that's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm hopeful they were just trying to bluff an attack there. Could be about to Rabid Bite it, I guess. There's lots of things they could do. Fiery Finish really doesn't have anything good to do right now. Yeah, it is Rabid Bite. Poor spider. Okay. Yeah, I don't really feel like doing anything other than playing a Lightning Mare here. I can give this flying to block that. I can trade with this if I want to. So, yeah. I can trade with anything over there. Okay, so I think I'm just going to take this 3 and trade with this. Okay, another body is another body. It's not exactly a good one, but you know, it'll do some damage. We're just trying to stall till we draw Pelakka Worm again, right? And then start attacking with our Gargoyle Sentinel. If we draw our dragon again, we can use its ability to kill this, which is pretty great. That's not so great. We can just use Fiery Finish to kill it, and that's definitely what we're going to do. I'm thinking about blocking this Rejuvenator now. I think I'm going to. Get it out of here. We go to 7. Okay, that's good too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Fiery Finish this in the face. Do 2 to them and drop them to 19. Is it worth attacking here? I think it probably is. I'm going to do it. So if they get that aura back and put it on their Elvish Clan Caller, we'll Lightning Strike it in response. So I'm not super concerned about that happening. So that's why I think I'm going to attack here. Thank God for Fiery Finish there, getting us a 2-for-1. That's when it actually feels pretty good, because we killed 6 mana worth of cards, and it cost them 2 cards. It only cost us 1. So it's pretty good. Definitely should just leave this mana up, because we know our opponent loves auras. And I don't think we need to bring in Naturalize, even though we've seen Oaken form now. There's also the fact that we have a main board Reclamation Sage. I think our main way to get value out of this kind of enchantment is just to kill our opponent's creatures and get the 2-for-1s that they're giving us, more or less. So if they tried to block there and use a combat trick, we would also come out ahead. Okay. We will end our turn. Hope they don't have another Elvish Clan Caller. Yeah, they're going to get that back, which is what I expected. And then, theoretically, put it on their Clan Caller. Theoretically. At which point, yeah. We go, bam. Get a 2-for-1, though. It's not as good of a 2-for-1 as most, because they can get that back. But we still kill their Clan Caller. We make them pay an additional 5 mana to get that back and play it, so I think it was well worth it. Yeah, that's not going to be good, though. Oh, our friend Pelakka Worm is back. Okay, so let's attack their Gutter Snipe. Let's just draw a Pelakka Worm every game. How's that sound? This time around, it's not just going to hold down the ground either. It's going to be running over our opponent, hopefully. Take us back up to 14. And yeah, I'll be able to attack once they're at 14. I mean, they could draw something really gross, in which case, you know, they might have something good to put that on. But if they just want to put it on that, we're not really that worried about it. And if they also want to trade, I think we're fine with that too. I think some people are a little more willing to trade with a Gutter Snipe than they should be. I mean, I can understand that to an extent, but our opponent's already played a game with us, and he knows we're not like a 12 instant and sorcery kind of deck. I mean, he has already done 4 to them. 6 to them, actually. Yeah. He's done all the damage between his 1 attack and 2 spells I played. We are basically out of removal. No, we're not. We have 1 more Electrify and a Shock, I think. So that's good. Wonder if they're going to Rage Quit since we drew our Pelakka Worm again. It is tempting. This game, though, they're not like crushing us like they were in the first game where like they should have won that first game. Like that's how I would feel too if the game was going super good and then my opponent's like Pelakka Worm. In this game, at least, like, you know, we're pretty even. Yeah, get your Talons back. We'll go up to 14. What we don't want is a Dreadmaw with Talons, but they can't actually do both. Yeah, they did basically quit after we played the Worm. All right, well, Pelakka Worm deck is 1-1 now. I'll see you guys in the final match. All right, going to the last match of this draft. I think this is another pretty good hand. Kind of forgot we had Banefire. Gargoyle Sentinel's been doing good stuff for us, just blocking early, slowing our opponent down so we can draw our Pelakka Worm. Can we win a game without Pelakka Worm? That's a good question. Ooh, they're definitely an artifact deck with a lot of artifact payoffs if they're shoving the ever mediocre Field Creeper into their deck. So this could be a little scary if their deck is that synergistic. I've yet to really see a blue-white artifact deck that got there, but we may be about to. I mean, you know, Scholars of Stars and the blue-white Signpost Uncommon are pretty good reasons. Like, if you have, like, combined 5 copies of those cards, pretty good reason to shove Field Creeper into your deck. Because they get so much better when you have artifacts. So we're going to play our Sentinel this turn. Take 2 to the face from the Wind Mage this time. Not from the Field Creeper, hopefully. We do have a way to kill the Wind Mage now, at least. So player Sentinel here. We also have Giant Spider for next turn, which is probably just what I do. I probably don't like fire off and Electrify right away. Probably. So is this going to be the flyer? If it is a flyer, I kind of think maybe I Electrify it. If it's the 4/4 flyer, I mean... Oh, God. That's not good. That's really not good. So we can't do enough with Banefire to kill it. Yeah, that's disgusting. That puts me in such a horrible position. So, yeah, I mean, if I were them, I think I would just attack with both. I have to pay 3 mana just to be able to attack your Ajani. Yeah, there you go. Question is whether I trade for this Field Creeper. I don't think so. I think we just take 6 here. And then I play Giant Spider and hope that that's enough to... Except they're going to put more counters on crap. God. Not cool. Alright. Well, we're going to play our Spider still. But we're in some serious trouble thanks to our friend Ajani here, who's just, you know, he played him just early enough that Banefire can't take it down, which is a real problem. This time I probably do trade for Field Creeper. If it attacks, it doesn't though. Oh, it does. Okay. Yeah, I think I block the Creeper with my Sentinel and take 4 and go to 8. At least 4. Could be more. Yeah, this hand is just way too slow for, like, to contend with an on-curve Ajani. We can kill it now if they don't do anything else, but they surely are. Yeah. That's gross. Okay. We do have double electrify. I can actually kill a Johnny, but then they swing at me for 7, so I don't really think it's worth it. Of course, they're going to swing at me for 7 anyway, aren't they? Because if I don't kill this, they swing at me for 7. So that probably is our best path. The bad news is we'll have to count on drawing a land for Fiery Finish for the Wind Mage. Yeah. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? I can Bane Fire it, sure, but that doesn't mean he's going to take my Giant Spider. Crap. Maybe it's best to just kill the Wind Mage. Then take 4. Yeah, that's probably best. There's not really a good route to take here, but I think this is the best of the bad routes to take. We need to have them run out of creatures because we have plenty of removal. It's just also clunky against a Johnny that it's like very difficult for us to win this thing. Well, at least it's only a 3/5 for now. 4/6 now. We probably bring in Naturalize this time around. So we go to 4. Okay, so I think we electrify this now, and then we can chump block that. That's our best path again. So let's see. Oh, they're about to get that emblem, but maybe they'll forget about it and just keep putting counters on their guy. They should probably go for the emblem and attack, though. Okay, or they could just do that. All right. Man, my deck felt clunky there. Bring in Naturalize. What do we cut? Maybe an Ogre or a Lightning Mare. Probably the Lightning Mare. Yeah, I mean, we got good removal in our hand, but it was all way too expensive. If they'd played a Johnny a turn later, I could have just killed him right away with Bane Fire, but you know, can't control that, unfortunately. Okay, we would like to play first. We'd also like to mulligan. Ugh, another kind of slow one, but I think we got to keep it. It's not a bad hand. We start opponent mulligan to 5. Maybe that'll even it out. Yeah, I think we probably want shock. It is a little scary. We don't have any green, but shock seems pretty good against them. We'll draw green. It'll be fine. Okay, play his island. Okay, we could really use that forest. But the good news is they're not off to a quick start this time, so maybe I should have left Lightning Mare in. Oh, I'm glad they don't have anything to animate. Just a 1/3. Oh, we did it. But yeah, I probably shouldn't have cut Lightning Mare. Now that I wasn't really thinking about the unblockable potential it has against this opponent. But it definitely has that. Hey, there's something to shock. There's not much that costs only a blue or only a white. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just shock it. Please tell me they don't have. It's better to do when they don't have a million mana up and it can find a way to survive. Good. Good, good. And then we'll play Thorn Lieutenant. And I'll end the turn. Yeah, Skilled Animator, another good reason to be playing a bunch of artifacts. Oh, did we forget to put Naturalize in after I said I was going to? I think we did. That's frustrating. Yeah. So we need one more mana to use this ability. What we can do is electrify this, and then we can block it with Giant Spider, but that doesn't feel awesome. Definitely, if I didn't bring in my Naturalize, which I don't think I did, which is awesome, we'll definitely need to bring it in for game 3. So, yeah, I think we go ahead and cast Electrify on this. And then we can block it with our Spider. And then this will be able to get all huge and stuff. Ooh. Now I think we just slam the Dreadmaw here. Yeah. We're going to need to kill that Starcrowned Stag at some point, but we're not there yet. We need one more green mana, and then we are safe for Pelakka Wurm mana. So glad I'm splashing blue for a card that I've really wanted to play and still haven't gotten to play. It's always frustrating. I mean, you know, it's only one card in my deck, so the probability of that happening across, you know, 9 or so games is, you know, it's pretty good that you don't draw like an individual card in your deck. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I would guess that it's something like 10% of the time, just based on all the drafts I've ever done. Don't have Luminous Bonds or something like that. That would make me even angrier. I didn't side in my Naturalize. Okay, he's big now, and so they can tap down my Dreadmaw when they attack. Yeah. That's not cool. So we can block the Stag at least, but yeah, we're just going to take 5 from that thing. Oh boy, Mighty Leap. Where's my Electrify mana? You know? Would have been pretty good there. Alright, so I think we have to electrify the Stag. And we'll end our turn. Awesome. Okay. So the question is, do we trade for the Guardian? That's the basic question here. Do we just take 8? I think I'm just going to take 8. That puts me on a 2-turn clock because of these, but I think we're going to have the best chance of winning if we just take 8. We just need to draw. Thank you. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to draw. That makes a big difference. So we play... Well, you know, it doesn't actually make the biggest difference ever, mostly because they still have 4 flying damage. So, but being able to kill the Gearsmith Guardian is pretty good. And I think I just attack with my Dreadmaw here. I think we have to... I think we basically have to. I mean, we're already taking 4 in the air, and there's not much we can do about it. So, yeah. We can swing for exactly 14 next turn. So if they get crazy here, I don't think they will. We have a chance, but most likely we're going down here. Thanks to Angel of the Dawn. If I can draw removal, we can swing for lethal. Nah, never mind. Never mind. We lose. Partly because I didn't side in my Naturalize like a genius. And we didn't draw Pelakka Wurm. We could still draw that, I guess. Which would buy us one more turn. Darn it. Well, let's attack with everything and see if they accidentally take it all. I don't think that's going to happen. And that's our only hope. Yeah, we got stomped here in the third match. Our first two matches, we won one, and the other one was pretty competitive, but... Nah, you don't need to block it. Nothing to worry about there. Yeah, they just drew this, and then this is disgusting. Like, there's not much we could do. We'd, already used 2 electrifies on various other things that needed to be electrified, so... All right, 1 and 2, not the greatest, but, it happens. Hopefully in the next one we do a little better.